Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Tonight, Bancroft being joined once again by Jimmy and Fluff.
Allegedly.
What's up, beautiful people?
And today we're going over, oh my goodness, the new set Zenkai yellow cards because they're finally being released and we're not seeing SPRs anymore. Which, by the way, of those SPRs, 95% of them are really good. I think 2 of them could have been a lot better, but we're not talking about those. We're talking about the new yellow stuff. And going into it, let's start with Piccolo, the leader. Auto. Discard 1 card from your hand. When this card attacks, look up to 5 cards on top of your deck, add up to 1 yellow card among them to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. Awaken when your life is 4 or less, and you have a mono yellow Son Gohan superhero Z battle card in play. You may draw 1 card, switch up to 1 of your energies to active mode, and add this card and add cards from your life to your hand so you have 6 left. I think Jimmy, you mentioned this in the on our Discord. This is definitely picking up like old Cell Surge vibes. I think it was you that mentioned that.
I have not said shit in this Discord,
Someone said
but
that.
yes, very strong Cell Surge vibes off of the auto specifically.
I believe that was Nick, but yeah.
No. Yeah, I mean, just being able to put any yellow card from top 5 into your hand is just, it's really, really strong. Like, that's really, really strong. Of course, you're not going positive in the hand because you are discarding, but as we'll see, there's a lot of cards that want to be discarded in this deck. So,
I was gonna say lot of these cards remind me of a mixture between Helku and Set 12 Frieza, where cards that are sent to the drop either from top of your deck or in Frieza's case from your life, you have costs you could pay to play those cards, and we'll kind of get those in a second as well.
Yeah, like I could see this deck being a very strong case of the like good yellow cards deck, where you just run like the bare minimum to satisfy the like the awaken and then the other effects, and then the rest of it is just like your yellow toolbox like one ofs. Like you could easily run one ofs in this deck because you're gonna see your entire deck from your top 5 searches.
And a lot of yellow cards have draw effects to them, so even though you're not getting that positive in the leader swing, you could gain those in the long run. It reminds me of Fluff, you sent me the link to the Turtleist that just recently topped. That was not a Turtleist deck, but it was the leader, which benefit the Unison aspect of that deck. I think that's why they played it, but it was just good yellow cards.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I would like to say that I hate the fucking art on this card.
It's focusing too much to the movie, and that's what's happening here. Because
it looks wrong.
Yeah, it's out of place. It's what it looks like. And I think all the cards for the set are going to look out of place too. But let's go into the Awaken side. Piccolo facing new foes. Kind of has that new limited line look to it. But auto once return. If it's your turn. Once return, if it's your turn, when you play a yellow card from your drop area or Z battle card, draw 1 card, which is pretty nice. Auto, when this card attacks, draw 1, discard 1 card from your hand, which right there alone is initially a draw 2, but you are discarding 1 to draw 2, because you could discard a card that you could turn on and play right afterwards, and then draw for the secondary auto. Activate battle once returned. Discard 1 card from your hand. Use up to 1 yellow battle card with 5,000 combo power from your drop, and a combo with its skills negated for the turn. And this card gets plus 1,000 power for the battle. And initially with this, if you want to time it right, you just discard the card you want to combo from your hand. That way you can immediately just boom, there it is. So you're not really wasting anything, and then it becomes a 6k combo.
Yeah, this side of the leader feels really strong to me. The potential to draw 2 every turn just seems really good, and I can see this being a nice generic yellow leader. And from what we've seen with the archetype, without spoiling where the archetype is going to go, because we're going to talk about some of these cards, the archetype itself seems really good and really consistent, at least from what we've seen so far. So I think that this has the potential to be an incredibly strong archetype just based on the front and back side of this leader.
Going to the next card that was released on the reveal, we'll go straight to the 8-drop Son Gohan, Flash of Brilliance. Deflect, dual attack, EX Evolve, limit 1 for 1 yellow, 2 under whatever energy, a Son Gohan SH. If this card would be removed from your battle area, remove it from the game instead. Permanent. You can activate this card, EX Evolve, from your dropper, and that is why it has that permanent, because if not, you're just cycling this effect over and over and over. Auto, if you have 4 more energy and a yellow pan SH card in play, when this card is played, it gains double strike and barrier for the turn. We talked about a lot early on with a lot of Z battle cards, gaining the ability of barrier on play. Boom, right here. So you know this Gohan's hitting the board if you have 4 more energy and the Pana as well. And then Auto, if you have a yellow Unison in play, when this card attacks, chooses one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, negate its skill for turn, and KO it. Once again, we talked about this in the past. Yellow didn't really have a lot of KOing stuff until just recently, and we're getting more for that as well, which is pretty nice.
And that is not a once per turn auto, and this card is dual attack. Strong, very, very strong.
Very strong finisher type card. Yeah. We don't really know much about the Yellow Sun Gohan SH though. We don't know what those cards are going to be, whether those are going to be a 2 or 3 energy investment themselves to put on the field. I feel like if those end up costing 2 to 3 energy, this may be a little too expensive to be consistent in yellow. But this card itself, just text on card, is very strong.
I think they've learned from the Dark Broly days of cards that reoccur from the drop area are a little too strong. So we've seen this like with the, I'm forgetting the name of it, the Trunks from the Xeno Trunks deck that comes from the Warp gets removed from the game at the end of once it's removed from the battle area. So I feel like this is a good way of balancing cards that come out of the drop area or Warp, is that they just get removed from the game. I think this is an excellent way to balance something like this.
And will bear in mind that cards that have that text on them cannot be comboed from the field. So you have to think of these like Baby Hatch. If you try to combo while these guys are on the field, they just get removed from the game instead. So these will not be comboable from the field.
And since we're seeing this auto as well, we kind of talked about with the Piccolo engine, the idea of discarding cards. You discard this card for your Piccolo leader early on in the game, and then later in the game, you just activate EX Evolve from the drop, which is fantastic. And that's why I do believe that the other Gohan may have the effect when this card is discarded from your hand, activate this auto, or just maybe once this card's in your drop, play it just fine. But we'll see hopefully tomorrow. We'll see it tomorrow. We'll see probably Bardock stuff tomorrow. So hopefully we'll see it in the next couple of days.
And to specify here, this does spoil that we are getting a Gohan SH Z battle card.
Yes,
which would be a target for this. And something goofy, the Piccolo Gohan Secret Rare, I believe that is also a Gohan SH if you really want to evolve on top of that. So
yeah.
I think that might be a solid choice if if you think this card is more powerful than keeping the super combo around. But we'll see once more Gohan SH cards are announced.
This card had auto mentioned earlier. If you have a Pan SH card in play, was kind of touch base on the new Pan that was dropped, which is the 3-drop Pan Inherit Bloodline, Deflect, Unique, Dual Attack. That's just crazy already. Permanent, when this card would leave your battle area, remove from the game instead. It has an auto for 1 yellow. If your leader card is yellow and your opponent has 2 or more energy, when this card is placed when this card is placed from your Z energy in your drop, to pay the Z energy cost of a mono yellow Z battle card with energy cost of 2 or more, play this card from your drop, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, ignoring barrier, and KO it. That right there is strong as it is, but it doesn't end there. When this card attacks, use up to 1 mono yellow card with 5,000 combo power from your drop in a combo with skills and get for the battle. So immediately this becomes a 15k. That also isn't once per turn. This is a dual attack card as well. So initially for 1 energy, you play a Z battle card, you play this Pan, you're popping a card at barrier and rest mode, and then it's a potentially 15 for 2 more attacks.
This card really isn't bad. Even without considering its second auto. But when you consider that second auto, it becomes a 15,000 dual attack for 2 energy, or for 1 energy when it's removed from the Z energy, and then it also pops a card when it's on the field. That is a lot of value for 1 energy in yellow.
We do have to consider the cost of the card that you are playing from your Z deck. Presumably, it's going to be a Gohan, which would be perfect to set up for your Evolve. But I'm expecting it to probably be like a 2-drop card with maybe like a 2 Z energy cost. So with the lack of pure plus on the front side of the leader, I could see you having a smaller hand towards the start of the game until you get your flip, because you're going to need to put cards in your Z energy. Plus, we're probably looking at like 3 energy to make this combo on field. That's saying if the Gohan is a 2-drop, which most of the other Z battle cards we've seen so far has been a 2-drop.
It specifies. It specifies a mono yellow Z battle card which costs 2 or more. So yeah, it's at least a turn 3 play.
Well, and as of right now, everything that we've seen about this archetype is not locked to specifically that Piccolo leader. So it is possible that Piccolo leader ends up not being the preferred leader to play this archetype in. There are plenty of yellow leaders that like to draw a lot. So I could see another leader kind of rising up to take this archetype under its wing. You know, there's one that I'm specifically thinking of, which I might touch on when we talk about the next card.
Well, let's go straight to it. The next card is the Unison that they dropped for this particular archetype. Now, we've seen a lot of cards ahead of time already that kind of just nuke Unisons, but it's great that we're still getting them. And for this one, it is Pan facing a new foe. Permanent, permanent. If you have a Sun Gohan SH card in play in rest mode and your opponent can't attack this card. Already good enough there, it keeps the Unison protected from future stuff. Auto for 1 yellow energy. If your leader card is Piccolo SH card, when this card is placed in your discard it from your hand, play this card from your drop area in rest mode with a mark on it. This kind of I talked about earlier, where the leader will benefit from you discarding cards to play those cards again. And has a +2, which is fantastic. It is a 15k, which is crazy as it is. You draw 1, then you discard 1 card. Once again, the idea you're never really gaining, but you're just maximizing your drop area for future plays. And then +2, choose up to 1 Sun Gohan SH card in your battle area in rest mode. And he gets plus 10,000 power until the start of your next main phase, keeping that card on board.
So with the second +2, it does suck that you can't use it as a offensive option because it is an activate main and the card has to be in rest mode. We haven't seen anything about restanding a Gohan on your turn, so we might get something like that. But this is purely as a protection for your Unison. Just keep it in rest mode. Your opponent's going to have to remove it by skill instead of attacking it, especially with the 8-drop, because I think he's a base 30,000. Putting him at 40k, nothing's going to swing into him and kill him at that point. So, kind of interesting. I don't know how heavily the Unison is going to be... or how important the Unison is, but there's a lot of protection for a Unison that may or may not be actually useful in the deck. So I'm interested to see where this is going to go.
My mind instantly goes to Topo Lock. Anytime that we see a Unison that is specified 2 for yellow, that's the first thing that my mind kind of goes to as my pet deck. But a specified 2 Unison that has 2+2 effects, even though that 1 isn't technically a plus in your hand, you know, you could discard a Draw Ape off of that effect and then pay 2 to draw 2. Or if the Gohan SH ends up playing itself from the drop area, this is a great way to get cards into your drop area to activate that EX Evolve effect. I don't think this Unison is what I would consider to be a bad Unison. Do I think is it the most powerful Unison that we've ever seen? Absolutely not. That the second +2 is very specific in its utilization. I agree with you. I wish that was also an offensive ability. You know, just choose one of your Gohan SH in your battle area, gets plus 10,000 until the start of your next main phase. That would have been absolutely fantastic.
I do like the option, though. Neither one's a minus, so I think that's a great option for them. That way it keeps Unison alive for potential Spirit Boost stuff.
Yes. Yep, absolutely. This is going to be a great Unison to utilize Spirit Boost with.
So with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Keep in mind, there's buttons down below. Let us know what's going on if you're enjoying this content. And yeah, that's about it. Fluff, would you lead us out?
Absolutely.
Wait.
So far...
Wait, sorry. Forgot to mention. When this video drops, this will be a surprise to Jimmy. I will be streaming today at about 6 o'clock EST. And we'll be doing testing on new archetype stuff. I'm starting with Turtle Hermit stuff. I will be joined by Fluff and Jake for this particular session, and then hopefully on Thursday or the following week we'll get Jimmy out one day.
No, that was not a surprise to me because I'm also going to be streaming, but on another website. I broke into a little bit of the attack on production budget. Surprisingly, the like silky shit that's on like Electric Eels, very expensive.
Is that where that went?
Check out my stream if you would like to see that.
All right, you cleared yourself off.
Loving the yellow stuff so far. So if you're interested in us testing out some of the stuff that we reviewed up to this point, come check us out on the Twitch stream. We'd love to have you guys there. As always, read your cards, know your plays, let us make the mistakes, and fluff out.